Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am here today. It's been a minute, let me just say, but I decided to do a little journal with me. I'm kind of feeling in the holiday Christmas spirit, so working in my art journal that is this Reader's Digest condensed book that I've had forever. I believe I got it at a yard sale probably. And I decided to flip over to a new signature to kind of start the Christmas season, winter season, and I've already just kind of started doing a little bit of work in here. Actually, I did this little nutcracker last night. This is from Amanda Evanston Art. I joined her monthly classes. Well, it's weekly. It's bi-weekly. Listen, her content is amazing. If you get the chance to get into her monthly classes, her monthly subscription, don't hesitate. It's worth it. Also did this little, I don't know, I think I saw something on Instagram that just made me want to get into my fabric stash and do some little stitches. And I did this last night just while watching TV, and it was very cathartic and therapeutic, let me tell you. So I just added this in here as a little flip over. I'm not done there, but it kind of matched the colors, so I put him in there. But what I wanted to do is flip over here. I think we're going to do this here. So I put my Christmas tree up yesterday, and so I've been in like a tree mode. And so I went through my little paper stash and just found anything kind of green or that I thought looked like Christmas trees or trees out in the wild. And I just tore them into little triangles for trees. And so I thought that I would use some matte medium and put them on this page kind of as a Christmas tree farm situation. So that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to see how this works out. I may need to tear some more. I'm not sure. I just want to fill it up and give it some dimension. So here we go. So I just had a thought, as one does. I think before I put the trees down, I am going to put some of this gold dot tissue paper like I did back here. I think I'm going to put some of that down before I put the trees down. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up for me, so I shall be back. So let me also say that I got this tissue paper at TJ Maxx. I got 2 packs of it, and it is perfect for collaging because the white disappears and then you're left with the gold dot. It kind of just fades into the background. It's really beautiful for layering too. And I use matte medium gel, Liquitex. This is good stuff right here. So that is what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna, you can see this little thing gets used a lot. I'm just gonna put some in my paper plate here. I'm gonna use this little chip brush, and I'm just gonna spread some of this on to start. And you'll see that this book paper will actually show through. So it's going to make a nice little layer. So I'm just going to put a little thin layer of that down. And then I'm going to just tear some of this off. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It does not have to be perfect. And I'm just going to put this down. Doesn't matter if it folds up. Doesn't matter if it goes off the edge. And then I'm going to put some of this over the top. And I will have to let this dry but I think I'm gonna like this. I think this is gonna look nice. Put that little sucker down. And we'll put him over here. Let's get him lined up. You can see this book is getting really chunky, which, you know, I like. Art journaling has given me a place to be messy and carefree and like kind of throw the rules out the window. So if you are like me and you need to break the rules a little bit and not be so rigid. I feel like I was always very rigid in my art, and this has given me an out. This has given me an out and an outlet. So I would tell you that you do not need any special skill, obviously, to art journal, and you might just give it a try. For one, if you are artistic and you need a break from your norm, or B, you simply don't feel like you're artistic at all. This is a great way to just play and have fun. So I have that down, and we're going to let that dry. Okay. You know, I'm just impatient, so we're going to continue without letting this dry because I'm still going to be using matte medium. So, you know, there's really no sense in waiting. Who wants to wait? That's not fun. So I'm going to move forward. Gonna just start putting some matte medium down on the backs of these trees and layering them. And honestly, I have no idea how this is going to turn out, how the layers are going to turn out. And you know what? It doesn't really matter because, again, we're just playing. We're just playing. We're seeing what this is going to look like. We don't need for it to be a masterpiece. We just need to use up these little scraps of paper. These scraps are, I'm not sure what these are from. I'm not sure if these are from another art project or if they're jelly printed. I actually think, speaking of Amanda Evanston, which I talked about with the Nutcracker, I think these are from a chaos layer. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this side. I think these are from a chaos layer that I did once upon a time in one of her classes. So these are just bits of paper that I keep and use for other projects. Obviously the paint is coming up on this this sad little palette that I have here. Now you can see these are kind of starting to come up because it's so wet. And again, you know, I could have waited to let this dry, but let's just not today. We're just gonna layer some more of these little trees. Oh, he's cute. I think we may need some more. I don't know. Let's put him right here. So it is the Sunday. Today, when I'm filming this, is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. It's the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, and I am a stickler about waiting to put up my Christmas tree. I put my Christmas tree up yesterday. I typically do put my Christmas tree up sometime during the weekend. I'm going to put him down here. The weekend of Thanksgiving. I like to wait. I'm old school. I'm old school like that. I like to wait until after Thanksgiving to put up the tree. Traditionally, so my birthday is December 1st, which is next week. And so traditionally, growing up, my mom, I always wanted to put the tree up early, and my mom would always make me wait until my birthday. That was kind of our time frame for the tree. So I've kind of kept that little tradition alive. Okay, so that's all that oh no, here's some more. I found a couple of extras here. Good. Oh good, I like this little, I needed another little dark green tree. He's pretty. We're gonna put him, we're gonna plop him in right there. And then here's one more little skinny guy. We'll put him right here. And I feel like we might want some more. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some matte medium over the top of these. Just gonna sprinkle them around a little bit. Gonna squeeze that out because it's, and let me tell you a trick also. Matte medium gets on your fingers and it's kind of hard to get off your fingers, but if you put some lotion on before you use it, it makes the matte medium a whole lot easier to wash off. So I don't remember where I learned that trick. I'm sure, I mean, I obviously didn't think of it myself. So okay, I think probably at this point we've got a lot of wet on these pages, so I feel like we probably need to go ahead and let that dry some before we continue. This is a cardstock here, but this is just a book page, so we're going to let those dry and then we'll come back, and I may add a little bit more. We'll see. Okay, so while we're letting this dry, I thought it would be fun to show you my little paper scraps. So I have this little box that has the smaller, I keep the teeny tiniest little scraps. And I've already seen one that we can use right here. See, it's already in a little triangle shape. So we'll set him over here so we don't lose him. And, you know, these are just, again, little scraps that I use to collage. And then over here, these are bigger scraps. And you can see I had pulled these out thinking that I might use them green. So I will go ahead and take these out. These are just, I mean, the most random bits of paper. Everything from old scrapbook paper to book pages, things that I've jelly printed on. There's magazine pieces. It's just a plethora. There's the old inside out envelope that I use. So there's a paint swatch, graph paper. I mean, there is all kinds of yummy goodness in here. I love it. So there's, oh, that might be interesting. Let's take him out. You know, this is something I had done. I don't even know why, but there's some more green. So I think this is probably plenty. So I just wanted to show you what I'm pulling this from. You can see it's good, y'all. It's good. Everybody should have boxes of paper scraps. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna take my little metal ruler here and hold that down, and we're just gonna tear these into little tree shapes. See? There's a little tree shape we can use. So we're gonna set him over here. And look, there's another one. He's scraggly. Oh, I like that's good right there. We're gonna use him. We'll put him back into the scrap pile. We'll use him again. Little morgue file. I think actually I think that's I hear different people call these different things. Amanda Evanston calls them, I think, a morgue file. Another artist that I follow calls them giblets, I believe. So that's fun too. So we're gonna tear this little guy. How do we want him? I kind of like this little scraggly. We're just gonna keep him kind of asymmetrical looking. See, just a little tiny tree. That's all we need. Just some little tiny trees to work with. And you could also, and if you didn't want that edge, you know, you could also tear. So we could do that too. Tear him. Let's get some of this. Let's get some of this guy. Let's see. We're gonna do this like this, and then we're gonna go like that. So see, that gives him some pattern to mix in, and then we'll do another one right here. We'll do another one. So there we go. That is probably enough, but let's go ahead and take some of this one, because I really think we need some more of this. I wish we had some more of that darker hunter green color. He kind of got a little mumper job, didn't he? Let's do this. I'm gonna hold him down tight. Oh yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Y'all think I'm kidding, but those will go back into the, oh yeah, that's good. Let's do one more. Let's do one more with this guy. Let's do, keep him, put him over there. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see if we're dry over here. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, so we have our little pieces here that we're going to use. In. So I like to, when I'm mixing these colors and patterns like this, you can, I mean, I do keep it fairly random, but at the same time, you know, you want a good mix. You don't want to put all of this color in one spot. You know, I've got this pattern and this pattern. So you want to be sure that you're spreading around the color and pattern. I mean, you want it to look random, but at the same time, you want it to look like a nice little composition, like you put a little bit of thought into it, right? So, okay, I'm liking this. I like the way everything looks. I still want something right there. I think we need a tree there. So let's see what we have over here that we can pull from. Oh, right there. He's already in the little shape. We'll just use him, and we'll actually, he's cut off on the top, and that's okay. We're just going to let him go off the page. So, you know, leave the rest of that to the imagination. Okay, so now let's kind of splotch over these fresh trees that we put on. And you can always, if you don't get enough matte medium on here and you have some little edges or corners that didn't quite get down whenever you're doing this, you can go back over it later, or you can just put a little glue on there to hold. And that'll be fun too. But I love the little bit of texture that this leaves over the top. It's really nice. So there we go. We're going to let him dry. And then the fun part will be deciding what we want to do with this. I mean, it's an art journal, so we can leave it like this. We may want to leave it like this and come back later and do something with it. We may want to decorate these trees. We may want to write over the top of them. That remains to be seen, and that is why I love art journals so much, because it's yours. There's no rules. You can do with it what you want, and we throw perfection out of the window. So there we go. I just had a thought, and what I've decided to do, this is totally unplanned, but I think what I want to do is I think I want to do some splatters for snow. I think I want to just do some, I thought about taking some more, and in fact, you know, we could go ahead and do a little bit, since this is still a little bit wet, we could go over the top of this stuff, you know, and give this a little more dimension with our gold dot tissue paper. I think we will. I think we'll do that. Let's do that there, and let's take some pattern over here, and let's take the rest of this right here. So we're just gonna blot that down, and so that kind of gives it a little bit more dimension, because you've got some of that gold foil coming out. And you know, we could even, I have this smaller dot, so let's do some of that too. Why not? Why not? Let's get crazy and wild, shall we? Let's put you over here. It just really gives it a fun little pop that I really like. We're going to put them, let's put you up here. I mean, doesn't that just look so cool? I don't know. I don't know what you think, but you know, it really doesn't matter because I like it. So there we go. Now, so that gives a little bit of extra pop of dimension. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use some white paint, just some white paint, and I'm just going to flop it right there with my matte medium because it really doesn't matter. And we're going to dilute that down. And we're going to let's just take this little brush and we're just going to make a little bit of snow, just some splatters. Because who doesn't want a Christmas tree farm without snow? Come on. it. So now we're going to let that dry. And we'll see how that looks. Okay. I have let a couple of hours pass. And I've come back to this. And I absolutely love how this looks. I love the dimension of it. It's exactly what I wanted. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few, and you can see I tested it out right here. I'm going to make a few trunks, you know, so it's not just triangles. And these are, these are watercolor pencils that I've had for ages. And what I like to do is dip, you can see, I just dip the end of it in some water to get it wet. And it kind of darkens that up a little bit. And I'm just going to put a few little tree trunks on here just to make this look a little more realistic. We may do some other things. I'm not sure yet, but this will at least give it the understanding that these are in fact trees, or at least I think it does. I mean, I think it probably reads as trees anyway, but sometimes you just want a little more. So I'm going to add this, and I'm still trying to, let's make him tall. Still trying to decide exactly what I want to do. And I think what I'm going to do is a while back took some just different solid fabrics, light fabrics that I have in my scrap pile, my fabric scraps. This is just some white cotton, and I have some muslin, and I stamped just with my old letter stamps that I've had since back in the scrapbook days. I think these are Making Memories rubber stamps. And I just kind of randomly stamped. You can see I did, and I even used some other stamps that I had. So I feel like this is sort of magical. I really like to make magic. I think there's too much fabric here, so I think I'm gonna rip this down a little bit. So I'm just gonna tear, and maybe fold that. I really think I want to tear it, and this is easy. Let me make a liar out of myself here. It's real easy. There it goes. And see, I just like the way that just looks very loose. Those raw edges are nice, in my opinion. And I kind of like the little strings, so I think what we're going to do is just put this on here. I may do some journaling over the top of this at some point, but I think for now, I am just going to add this. I don't know where yet. I think I'm going to add it over here. I really like the way this side turned out. I love these trees a whole lot more. So, and I got a little messy right here with the white paint. So, I think I'm just going to put him right in the middle there. And I may grunge him up a little bit. How about a little Stabilo all action? Let's move him to the side a little bit. Let me bring you down. just a hair. Can you see that? Let's do a little bit more. There we are. Okay. I don't know how this is going to work on this fabric, but this Stabilo all pencil, when you get it wet, makes a beautiful mark. And let's try this out. We've just got a paintbrush in here, and let's see how this goes. Oh yeah. Okay. So this, I kind of like this. We're gonna grunge this up. Oh, talk about making magic. Man, I love this. Let's put a little bit more on there. I love to experiment with different mediums that I have. Just see what the reaction is. And I really like that. I really like that. And you know what I think I'm gonna do also? Since we have this gold on here, let me bring you back out here. Bring you back out. Since we have this gold metallic on the page, I think I want to add some gold to this. So I am going to find my gold acrylic paint. So excuse me for a moment while I find it. There's one that's not open. I have one that's open. Well, there you are. So I have this gold acrylic paint here. Let's get a little of him out here. I mean, because he is very, I kind of got a little carried away, but that's okay. That's okay. We're experimenting here. So I'm gonna do, let me move these others, put them back in their little bin. We're gonna experiment, kind of like we did with that snow. We're just gonna, a little more water. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, can you see that? It's just underline magic. Okay, so we'll see what that looks like when it dries, and then we'll put that on. Oh my goodness, I feel brilliant. I know this is not rocket science, but as I was letting this little guy dry, the little pieces, you know, that we tore away were laying there. And I was like, oh my gosh, why don't we use that gold paint that we have out and paint that fabric and layer it under? Okay, so here's my idea. I mean, this is still wet, but I'm so excited. I had to film this. So this is my thought. put him under there. So I'm thinking this is what this is going to look like. That's what I'm thinking. But I think I want it down here in the middle. So, I mean, I feel like a genius right now just because I painted this fabric. But that gold paint on that white fabric is beautiful. I may have to, I've got some more gold paint still out. I may have to paint some more to use during the holidays in my art journal, because I'm really digging that. So I'm fixing to glue these bad boys down. I was going to sew these on. I was going to stitch these on, but I think I'm just going to use the old fabric tack and put these down. So this stuff is amazing. Doesn't take a whole lot, and I'll say it is strong smelling, so be sure you're in a well ventilated area if you use this. Okay, so we're going to put him down. Let's see, it's still wet. I can't believe, I hope this works since it's still wet, but I just can't help it. Okay, we're going to move them down just a hair. Okay, which side? This side. Okay, so here we go. Now, let's, oh, goodness. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of fabric tack on here. I don't want it, you know, sometimes with, you can see that gold is coming off on my fingers. I don't want it like totally glued down, if that makes sense. I want it to feel a little loose. Yes, that is exactly what I want. Let's move this up just a little bit before it gets stuck. So, you know, I don't want it to look, I want it to have a little imperfection feel. I don't want it to be, I want it to look messy, you know? I want it to look old in a way. I don't want it to look like it was intentional. I guess that's kind of the look I'm going for. So we're going to kind of, you know, squish that up a little bit. You see how that has a little bit of dimension to it. It's not totally squished down. I am loving this. I'm loving this. So I think if I were to do it again, I wouldn't put quite so much of this to below all. But I love this gold paint. I love the way that looks on the fabric. That has opened me up to some new ideas. So again, that is what I love about art journaling, is that you can find so many new creative ways to use what you have on hand. It's so much fun. I love this page. I will probably come back to this at some point and do some journaling over the holidays. Although I love it so much, I may not be able to do anything to it. I don't know, but I feel like I want to do some journaling at some point. However, I'm going to call this done for now. Done for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will come back and subscribe and share, and